This is Jafric Radio.
Jafric Radio, your number one online radio station based in Japan.
This is Jafric Radio.
Jafric Radio, your number one online radio station based in Japan. Hi, my name is The Laboratory, an international flutist from Ghana. I urge you all to listen to Jafric Radio, radio station based in Japan. Jafric Radio, your number one online radio station based in Japan.
This is Jafric Radio.
Your number one online radio station based in Japan. Hi, my name is The Laboratory, an international flutist from Ghana. I urge you all to listen to Jafric Radio, radio station based in Japan. Jafric Radio, your number one online radio station based in Japan.
This is Jafric Radio.
Hello, how are you doing? Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to PapaNorr's story time. I trust you're doing very well. And once again, I would like to say a very big thank you to all those who have subscribed to the channel, those who have clicked on the notification button, those who have liked it and shared it. Thank you very much. Last time, I read a book to you. In that book, there are two stories. The first story was Anansi finally meets his match. So in that same book, I'm going to read the second story to you, Anansi and the Squirrel in Court. Anansi and the Squirrel in Court. So let's enjoy the story together. So, in this Ghanaian folktale, the trickster, Anansi, deceives the squirrel, his best friend, and steals his farm. Once upon a time, there was a big famine in the land. Nobody had any food to eat, and the only thing available to drink was water, water, and water. Anansi and the squirrel were best friends who did almost everything together. They shared the little food and water they received with each other and slept in the same house. One lucky day, a rich farmer came to their village and, feeling sorry for Anansi and the squirrel because of the deplorable and miserable conditions they were living under, offered each of them a bucket full of corn. Indeed, a big bucket full of corn. Anansi roasted his entire bucket of corn and ate it all over a period of 2 weeks. But the squirrel decided to divide his corn into two parts. He roasted one half of the corn and planted the other half in a large farm in the middle of the thick forest, where no one would be able to locate it. The squirrel made no road or path to his farm, but just climbed trees and walked across branches to reach his farm so no one would know where about it. The squirrel did not tell Anansi about the existence of his farm because he knew that Anansi was ruthless, cunning, and would do anything to seize it. Meanwhile, Anansi had finished eating all his corn and began starving again. So he resorted to drinking water from morning until night and going to bed with only water in his belly. The thoughtful squirrel's corn was growing and growing and growing, and the squirrel was slowly enjoying the fruits of his hard labor. Soon, he would banish hunger and poverty forever from his life, because he vowed that he would always save some seeds to plant during the lean seasons. The squirrel was looking good and well fed, despite the hunger in the land. Anansi was surprised to see the squirrel looking so good and the devastating famine in the land. Anansi was surprised to see the squirrel looking so good despite devastating famine in their land. So, he decided to tiptoe secretly behind the squirrel to find out where he was getting his nourishment. As the squirrel was going to his farm early one morning, Anansi secretly followed him, and to his amazement and delight, saw a huge farm with a lot of ripened corn. When the squirrel left, Anansi spent 2 days making a wide path from his house to the farm, and then began eating the corn more than 20 times a day. Every day, Anansi boldly walked with his family on the wide path he had made to the squirrel's farm, and they all openly ate the ripened corn until they were satisfied. Bad friend. The squirrel was alarmed to see
This
the
is
rapid
Jafric
rate
Radio.
at which his corn was diminishing. So he decided to find out what was going on. He hid all day in the middle of the farm to find out who was stealing his corn. And to his amazement, he saw his own friend, Anansi, walk boldly on a wide, well-paved path to his farm and then begin to eat his corn. The squirrel jumped out of his hiding place, ready to kill Anansi with a big stick. But he thought otherwise. Instead, he sternly told Anansi that he would see him in court. Anansi shouted, "Hey, squirrel, you are the thief who stole my farm. This corn farm belongs to me, and you stole it. I will see you in court myself, you little devil." The next day, the whole courtroom was packed with the squirrel's sympathizers who wanted real justice from him. Most wondered how the cunning Anansi would be able to exonerate himself after being caught red-handed stealing the squirrel's corn. The squirrel presented his case, telling the court how he had caught Anansi red-handed in his corn farm, eating some of the corn and bagging more of it to take to his house. The squirrel showed some of the stolen bags of corn to the judge. The judge asked Anansi whether he was guilty of stealing the squirrel's corn and transporting bags of corn away from his farm without authorization. Anansi answered that he was not guilty. He said, "The squirrel is lying. The farm does not belong to him. It is mine. Squirrel is the intruder, not me." Anansi swore that after he had won the case, he would countersue the squirrel for making false accusations and malicious accusations against him. Then, Anansi shouted, "Your Honor, I have spent a long time and a lot of money making my farm and have paved a wide path from my house to the farm, which I tend on a daily basis. I am upset and annoyed by the fact that a thief like Squirrel can claim my farm as his own. Your Honor, ask the squirrel if the farm belongs to him, how he gets to his farm from his house. Let him prove to the court that he has paved a path or anything from his house to his own farm." The judge asked the squirrel to answer Anansi's questions on how he got to his farm. The squirrel answered that he climbed trees and walked across branches to his farm. Anansi retorted before the crowded court, "Ridiculous, Your Honor, ridiculous. How could he have the audacity to stand before Your Highness and tell you the rest of us that he goes to his own hard-earned farm by climbing trees and bushes? What an absurd and shameful statement to tell this august court. Your Honor, it is an insult to your authority for the squirrel to tell you such a cock and bull story here and to perjure himself before your mighty court." The court found it impossible to accept that the squirrel could merely climb trees to get to the farm. So, Anansi was awarded the farm along with all the corn growing in it. Anansi thanked the court and informed everyone present that he had decided out of his own kindness to forgive the squirrel for all his false statements and for attempting to impugn his
This is Jafric Radio.
reputation. Anansi's integrity and assassination of character. He told the squirrel to be of good character and to go out and sin no more. The end. So, what is the moral of this story that I just read? Moral lesson number 1. If you own a property, make sure you secure that property with proper documentation. Don't always trust friends. Indeed, some friends are good, but some friends, like Anansi, have always dubious intentions and bad intentions. Always remember to secure your property and safeguard your property. If you have learned any other lessons out of this book, go down to the comment section and tell me
This
about
is
that lesson
Jafric
you've learned.
Radio.
If you're new to this channel, I would like to nudge you, urge you, encourage you. Subscribe. Click on that notification button, like it, and share it with your friends and family. Thank you very much. I'll see you again in the next story. Ta-ta.
Jafric Radio.
Hello. Welcome back to PapaNorr's Story Time. My name is Eddie Nortey, also known as PapaNorr. As you know, we are reading to you The Step Monster by Yayira Goka. Ruby Yayira Goka, The Step Monster. And it's turning out to be a very, very interesting book. A family where the mother passes on, the father meets someone new, they remarry, the children are, especially the elder daughter, is not in favor of her father's relationship and quick engagement to this flower woman, this florist. The story is developing into a beautiful story, and I'm sure some people would align and side with the story that is developing.
This is Jafric Radio.
Before I continue with chapter 8 and chapter 9, I would like to say this. As you can see, today also I am clothed by NE wear. NE wear, pronounced anywhere. Anywhere. The website is www.newear.co.uk. When you go to his site, you will be able to find the clothing that they are selling on the site. They sell gym clothing, they sell spring clothing, summer clothing, all kinds of clothing for all occasions. If it's wearable, it's doable. If it's wearable, it's doable. So visit the website Anywhere. So you will see the logo on the screen and you see the logo on this t-shirt. So it is Anywhere that has clothed me for this reading for chapter 8 and chapter 9. So let's jump into chapter 8 and see how the story is developing. Chapter 8. They had a small civil wedding 2 weeks later on the day of the leaders' jam. I tried to wriggle out of going to the ceremony, but Pope wouldn't hear of it. I was determined to sulk throughout. I couldn't believe I was giving up being with Echo because of the silly ceremony which was only for family and very close friends. Nadu had shown up in a brightly patterned yellow, blue and pink kente slit and kaba, which had gold thread woven in between the sessions. The bodice of the kaba was done in blue lace. She had shaved off her beard, black pinprick spots. Sorry. Forgive me. Let me take that again. She had shaved off her beard. Black pinprick spots were visible on her chin. If you look closely, Pope was in the blue kaftan. Since Pope had perpetually been in a good mood since he made the announcement about the baby, he gave me money to buy Christy Brown outfit and shoes from Sifa. Nadu had wanted me to choose a blue outfit. I bought a short black dress. Pope absolutely refused to allow me to wear it. He said it will hurt Nadu's feelings. Pope absolutely refused to allow me to wear it. He said it will hurt Nadu's feelings. I got the exact same dress in dark red. He just sighed and shook his head, but didn't say anything. I guess he hoped people would not equate the red shade of my dress with mourning. I was particularly proud of my multicolored button bib necklace. I bought them. I was sure I was the only one from school who owned one. Unfortunately, one of the buttons came off just before the ceremony, but I quickly pinned it back into the place with one of the safety pins I carried in my purse. I don't think anyone noticed apart from Asei. She was the only person I invited, and I was glad she decided to dug the leader's jam, and attend the ceremony. Wow, look at you. You should be on the cover of Ovation. Aren't these Christy Brown? She asked, as I did a 360 turn for her to see everything. I nodded. It's true, what they say that clothes make the man. I felt like royalty. Are there going to be any reporters from the newspapers and magazines? She asked, fluffing her hair, looking around as if she expected red cameras to start going off. No, it's strictly by invitation. Guests are not even allowed to take photographs during the ceremony. Only the professional photographer. Charlie, if we were the same size, I'd have borrowed your dress. You have to hurry up and lose weight so we can share clothes. And that bib, oh my, it will go with anything, anything. You're so lucky. I know, Asai hadn't meant to be unkind, but it still hurt. Her comment put a damper on my mood that didn't even improve that she owed and awed over the button bib necklace. As I sat through the ceremony, I tried really hard to make myself happy for Pope and Nadu. I even tried to like Nadu. I made a list of her good points. She didn't pick her nose or put her handkerchief and money in her bra like Nyawayo. She was really good with flowers and she loved Pope. I couldn't go further than that because images of her with her beard and loud, raucous laugh kept flooding my mind. How could you like someone whose likable attributes you could count on in one hand? The reception was held in Nadu's house at Weija. Nadu's jungle might have been more appropriate. Nadu's jungle might have been a more appropriate term. There were trees and plants everywhere, not just in the compound, but inside the house also. You'd have thought there'd be some order with the arrangements. I mean, all her bouquets and flower arrangements looked neat and tidy, and the color combinations really matched. But in her house, goodness, everything was growing everywhere. And an old bathtub, buckets, cooking pots had all been converted to flower pots. There were vines creeping all over the building so that I couldn't even tell what color it had originally been planted. Right by the front door were two huge potted plants. On the steps leading to the door were various terracotta pots with all kinds of cacti and ferns in them. The compound looked like a broom hadn't touched it in a million years. There were leaves strewn every which way. A small gravel path led from one part of the jungle to the other. Different colored caladium plants lined the path. You couldn't take 3 steps without brushing the leaves of one of the trees or the other from your face. It was as if Nadu had dropped plants everywhere and left them to thrive for themselves without bothering to prune or maintain them. I tripped on a vine of morning glory and was glad there was no one there to see but Asai. This is a jungle. This is not Eden. She's your stepmother. Show some respect. Asai said, stifling a giggle. Step monster. She'll never be my mother. Step monster. She'll never be my mother. Step monster. She'll never be my mother. We just have to get a couple of wild animals and we'll be set. Sorry. I giggled. I'm sure she goes swinging from tree to tree when she's alone, like Tarzan. On second thought, she probably napped the rope in two with her weight. Asai threw her head back and laughed. The reception was in full swing when we joined the guests behind the house. There was about an acre of more jungle land at the back. I could hear water running, but I couldn't bother to investigate. I was certain there were snakes everywhere in all the greenery. Once we had arrived at the house, Nadu had taken off her shoes and tied her hair in a lopsided bun atop her head. It was still the tiny twist that favored. It was still the tiny twist she favored. She was walking barefoot on the grass, greeting guests and chatting and having a very happy time. Pope was also talking to some of the guests, but every few minutes his eyes searched for Nadu as if to make sure she hadn't disappeared while he'd been talking. Manche and Nene were already at the buffet table. Asai and I joined them. Pa Willie and the kitchen staff had banished folk from the kitchen and had outdone themselves. There were platters of lobsters, grilled tilapia, fried barracuda, cassava fish, and grouper, fried octopus, and squid, noodles, lasagna, apapransa, 4 varieties of kebab, goat, beef, gizzard, chicken and sausage, lamb sauce, seafood sauce, beef sauce, stir-fried vegetables, coleslaw, potato salad, ampesi and palava sauce, plain rice, jollof rice, fried rice, wache, wele, stew, banku, okro soup, fufu, light soup, omotuo, groundnut soup, TZ, alefu soup, potato chips, kelewele. Wow! There was an oven roasted turkey, roasted goat meat, and a pig roasting on a spit. I tried to ignore the dessert table as I walked to the main table. Guests were going to be spoiled.
This is Jafric Radio.
Cheesecake, chocolate cake, fruit cake, ice cream cake, fruit salad, brownies, nkate cake, and different ice creams. I filled my plate with the salad, no dressing, and a tiny piece of pransa. Before Mama died, she'd been appalled to find out I was dieting. At that time, I'd been avoiding fried, fatty, sugary foods and all carbohydrates. She made me promise I'd give up dieting. I did, but she wasn't happy. She wasn't here anyway. I don't think promises made to dead people count. It's like they say, till death do us part. I'm so jealous of you. You live in a vacation spot and you get to eat food like this every single day. How lucky can a person be? Asai held the 2 plates to her hand. One had a bit of apapransa, grilled tilapia, potato salad, lobster, 3 sticks of kebab, and jollof rice. The second held pork, cassava fish, a chicken.
This is Jafric Radio.
Meat. Wow, these girls are filling their plates, filling their bellies. I want to tell Asai that the only reason we lived in the tropical beach, woke up every morning to the sound of waves lapping on the seashore, looked out the window to the sun shining through our very own coconut trees, and ate food like this every day was because of the compensation money we received from the airline. Luck had nothing to do with it. Well, it had everything to do with it if you were counting bad luck. If I could give this all up to have my mother's back, I would, in a heartbeat. Asai sat down, spread some shito onto a chicken thigh, and bit into it. You have no idea how lucky you are. There was a lull in the music, and I heard Nyawayo say clearly, Nadu, sit down a bit in your condition. I rolled my eyes as I finished the papransa. Pope had invited Mama's parents, but they had refused to come. I would have given anything not to be there either. Is that a banana tree? Is that a banana tree? I turned to look in the direction. Asai was pointing, and sure enough, there was a banana tree on Nadu's back porch. That in itself was weird. That in itself was weird enough, but she also had cocoyam plants growing in various clay pots under the banana tree. I shook my head. Weird didn't even begin to describe her. Wow. I looked deeper into the foliage behind her house and made out a giant-sized aloe vera plant, a cocoa tree, a plant that looked like a giant pineapple plant, but instead of the pineapple fruit, there was a strange-looking fruit or flower in the middle. There were cacti that were taller than I was, all colors of color, a big agave in a metal bucket, some bamboo shoots and palm trees, and over 100 other plants and flowers that I couldn't name. Strange woman. After I had had my salad, I excused myself to use the bathroom. No one was inside the house. There were plants on every available surface. There was no TV. An old CD player sat on the floor beside the sofa. there was a semblance of order with the indoor plants. There were orchids, chrysanthemums, marigolds, asters, anthuriums, and bromelates. I stepped upstairs and opened the door after door until I got to what had to be Nadu's room. There were clothes everywhere. I didn't need anyone to tell me she was not a very tidy person. I opened her wardrobe. I would have been shocked not to find Poop's clothes there. I wondered how he could stand the disorder. I snuck into her bathroom, and there wasn't a mound on the walls like I expected, but there was hair sticking out of the drain. I opened her dresser drawers, not sure what I was looking for. Then I opened a jewelry case. I didn't find anything that belonged to Mama in it. I had just shut the case when I heard a sound behind me and turned. Nadu was at the door. She had her shoes in her hands. I was looking for the bathroom. She just stared at me. After what seemed an age, she said, "There are 2 of them downstairs. There are 2 bathrooms downstairs. You could have used any of them without coming into my private space, without coming into my bedroom." Nadu looked at me some more. I don't think she believed me. I didn't even sound convincing to myself. I don't know whether or not she had sanitary pads. She had sanitary pads in the downstairs bathroom. But she walked into her bathroom and brought me a pack. She dropped her high heel shoes and went back downstairs barefooted. The end of chapter 8.
This is Jafric Radio.
Jafric Radio, your #1 online radio station based in Japan. Hi, my name is The Laboratory, an international flutist from Ghana. I urge you all to listen to Jafric Radio station based in Japan. Jafric Radio, radio mu papa. Jafric Radio, radio mu kiko. Jafric Radio, yemamu kasia bopa. Jafric Radio. Jafric Radio, yeah, Mamu Kasia Papa. Jafric Radio, yeah, Mamu Adisra Papa. Jafric Radio, radio, Jafric Radio. Jafric Radio, your #1 online radio station based in Japan. Jafric Radio, radio Mukiko. Jafric Radio, yeah, Mamu Kasia Papa. Jafric Radio.
This is Jafric Radio.
Jafric Radio, your #1 online radio station based in Japan. Hi, my name is The Laboratory, an international flutist from Ghana. I urge you all to listen to Jafric Radio station based in Japan. Jafric Radio, yeah, Mamu Futu Papa. Jafric Radio, yeah, Mamu Kasia Papa. Jafric Radio, yeah, Mamu Adisra Papa. Jafric Radio, radio, Jafric Radio. Jafric Radio, your #1 online radio station based in Japan. Jafric Radio, radio Mukiko. Jafric Radio. Jafric Radio.
This is Jafric Radio.
Jafric Radio, your number one online radio station based in Japan. Hi, my name is The Laboratory, an international flutist from Ghana. I urge you all to listen to Jafric Radio, radio station based in Japan.
This is Jafric Radio.
Radio, your number one online radio station based in Japan. Hi, my name is The Laboratory, an international flutist from Ghana. I urge you all to listen to Jafric Radio, radio station based in Japan.